everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Of course, I'm Lashawnda.
I'm the Mike.
And we are going to be reviewing or giving our reaction to Love is Blind. It's a Netflix series, and we're actually going to be reacting to the third season. Right. We have a lot to say, and we're going to try to get this in under 30 minutes. Yeah. So... Do you have your questions, or you got like a notebook or something like that?
No, I just put down her names just in case. Names. Yeah, just in case we had to keep up with the names.
Okay, so we actually just finished it, and when I tell you, it was.
Yes.
Right. It was a lot.
So, do you want to go down the list? Because I wrote down the couples in order.
Yeah, let's go down the list.
Okay,
let's go down the list.
All right. So first up, we have Brennon and Alexa. Now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Brennon. He seems like such a country boy, genuine, good-hearted. You can tell this dude is gonna work his butt off to make sure that his woman is provided for. He's definitely giving me the vibes of a father figure. Like he's that guy.
Right.
Whereas with Alexa, she kind of seems a little bit more Malibu-ish to me. I guess because of the lifestyle and stuff like that. Her dad, of course, has money and. She comes from money, and that's what she's used to. So they're very, very opposite. Right. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was surprised to see them actually make it to the end. I really was. I'm glad that they did, but I was surprised.
Yeah, one thing I learned about Alexa is she's hard to read. So I feel like we were really rooting for Alexa at the very beginning stages when they were in the pods because of her story and we just really vibed with her at the very beginning stages. And then whenever they left the pods and they went on like the vacation or whatever, or the resort, and then went to like the apartment and stuff, you couldn't really read her. Like it was hard to tell if she was genuinely like into the relationship or if she was kind of still trying to go through like mental stuff and what she thought. And so we didn't really know if she was feeling him the way that she was feeling him in the pods, but obviously she was because they went the long way and they're still together. So that was really good. Brennon, I agree with Michael. You can tell that if he's with you, he's with you. Like he's loyal. He's gonna make sure he does whatever he has to do in order to provide or whatever. So he definitely gave that off. Yeah. And she definitely gave off like the Malibu-ish vibe because when we saw her dad's place and like her upbringing, so to speak, we were like, okay, that makes sense. So, yeah.
And I gotta also say too, though, like kudos to Alexa because, she is a full-figured woman, but she's an absolutely gorgeous woman. And I love that. Yeah, and I absolutely love the fact that she is comfortable with herself because that just makes her more beautiful already,
Yeah, she was so comfortable in her own skin, and you don't see that often, especially in women. And she was okay with the fact, like, she's like, I'm curvy, and I love my curves. I want to show off my curves. And I was like, yes, because a lot of the times you hear the opposite. And, some curvy women, like they're trying to hide that. You could just tell that she was very confident in her own skin. There was no swaying her or like, she was just very confident. And I really love seeing that on Love is Blind for sure. Who's the next couple?
Matt and Colleen.
Matt and Colleen.
You want to go?
So, and I'll just remind me to bring something up after that about Matt. That's not like for this, but So first thing that I related to was Matt because Michael kind of reminds me of Matt when it comes to the I ain't playing this. I will be out. Okay.
Yeah, I was a runner.
Yes, and Matt was a runner. He was a runner. He's a track star. Yeah. He was ready to be out, which very rightfully so. Like he was the type of person that he saw the red flags off gate and was like, nope, I already done been burned once. Like, you're not gonna do this to me again. Like, absolutely not. And so I didn't know they were gonna go all the way.
I didn't know if they were gonna go all the way either. And it really pertains to like what happened to him in his past as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta take into consideration when you go through that much trauma or devastation, you don't know what you're willing to put up with, and you don't even. And the funny thing is you don't even know what you should put up with. You know what I mean? Because you don't know. It becomes very confusing as to what red flags you run from. So essentially, what winds up happening is any red flags you like bounce, and that's kind of how I was for a while. Whenever me and you first got together.
For a while, y'all. Michael, we would have the smallest, not even a disagreement. Like I might bring something up to his attention, and we need to have a conversation about it. And he would jump to, so what, are you breaking up with me? Are we breaking up?
I was real quick. Like, so that's it, huh?
Yeah, and he just reminded me so much of like our beginning stages with the running thing. And then as far as Colleen, I feel that when she was in the pods, she gave off very much, not shallow, but like she didn't have substance. Like she just seemed like she didn't really have the pods. She seemed like she didn't really have a lot to offer. And her go-to was, I'm a ballerina, and so I know all guys are gonna love ballerinas,
right? And
they're gonna instantly flock to me because I'm a limber, as she calls it, and she definitely developed throughout the series in reference to her personality, and I think Matt really pulled out the fact that, look, this ish don't fly with me, and if you are gonna choose me, you better be choosing me and not out here entertaining these other people out here. And Colleen got it together really quick. Now, I feel like they didn't really show a lot in reference to Colleen's side because you still really didn't get to see a lot of her vulnerable moments on camera. Now, I don't know what moments they had off camera, obviously, but like I feel like I know more about Alexa's stories and Nav's stories.
Yeah, it almost kind of seems like they put more emphasis on some people and not as much on others.
Because I don't know Colleen's story. I just know she's a ballerina.
That's it. Yeah, that's really pretty much all we had to go off of. Now, the only thing with Colleen is like, like she was saying, in the pods, it seemed like she wasn't about anything. And, as far as like trying to find anything, wanted to divulge. I think she even told Cole that she couldn't be a deep person. And I'm going to tell you, when you're talking about marriage, that is very essential.
Yeah.
That you have to be able to at least be deep. So, that kind of fell where, it laid. But later on in the season, the thing with Colleen is she always has this face like she looks like she's scared. I don't know what.
She does.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's something in their relationship or maybe it's just something with her. But she looks petrified.
I definitely caught that at the reunion. And so put it in the comment section if you have seen Love is Blind Series 3.
Right.
And let us know because, I'm not about to go back and watch the beginning just to see. But like, I swear at the reunion, and we're going to talk about the reunion at the end.
Right.
But at the reunion, she looked petrified. The entire time.
I don't know. Just reading her face,
she looked petrified. And I am not saying, I'm not implying anything because we don't know. Right. I'm just saying that her energy and her look was completely different in the series versus at the reunion.
And that could be her resting face. I don't personally
know. I don't personally know either, but it just seemed like she was terrified of something. But she said she was happy. So I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe, like you said, maybe she just got the I'm about to cry face.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Sure. But Cole and Zanab.
Okay, so our next couple.
Zanab. I don't know how to say her name.
Just call her Zay. I think that's what he calls her anyway.
Zay.
Okay, so here's, man. All right, so it really sucked because I really liked Zay in the very beginning in the pods.
I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't really care for her. And I actually didn't really care a whole lot for Cole in the pods now. Until I started seeing that Cole was a guy with some substance. When I started seeing that he had substance to him, and whenever he told Colleen no, and he actually stood his ground, I was like, okay, I like this guy. This guy right here is a genuine dude. And throughout the season and everything like that, I actually really got fond of Cole. Like, I really got fond of him. Now, as far as Zanab, I feel, and this is just my opinion, I just feel like that's a narcissistic person that plays a victim role. And that's just what I believe, because throughout the season, she took everything to like heart, even when he was joking. And I didn't like that. What was your thoughts on that?
I have so much to say about Zay and Cole. I agree with you, Michael. At the very beginning, I was not fond of Cole. I thought he had F-boy vibes. And I was just like, he seems like like the typical party guy.
Right.
You know, he just wants a pretty girl. And so whenever he turned down Colleen due to lack of substance,
right,
I said, oh, okay. Because I honestly thought at the beginning Cole was going to pick Colleen based off of her limberness and just because they seemed to get along. Like, they had that vibe, don't get me wrong, but I knew it was very surface level. And she even admitting that she had no desire to really go deep. Like, that's just not how she was. I thought he was just going to pick her. I thought he was going to pick her because of the, because of the outside stuff. Like the stuff that don't really matter. And so when he didn't pick her, I said, oh, okay, respect. And then when him and Zay got together, it just went downhill after that. It just went downhill. I started gaining more respect for Cole and losing even more respect for Zay because I didn't like Zay at the beginning. At the beginning, I didn't really like her because Cole was spilling out his heart on multiple occasions and it took her way too long to respond. Like, it was a lot of silence in between their dialogue. And that was very awkward for me. And I wasn't even on the other end. And so I instantly felt like she wasn't really into him. And so when he proposed to her and she was like, yeah, I was actually shocked because I didn't think she was really into him. They get in a relationship or get engaged and instantly you can see she's very insecure. Very insecure. There's a very controversial situation that happened with Cole and Zay where he did say some stuff that was kind of out of pocket to Colleen about, her looks, and she's the type of person that he would typically go for. It was kind of out of pocket, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those type of situations where it's a special kind of show. It's Love is Blind, and you all dated each other. Right? So this is the first time they're able to meet you. And I just feel that she ran with that way longer than she needed to. Like, I get he may have disrespected you and your relationship in that statement, but I feel like the statement wasn't big enough for it to go as far as it went.
It wasn't. And, one of the things that I like about Cole is he's honest. Like,
yes.
If he says something, even if it hurts your feelings, don't ask him if you don't want the answer to it.
Yes.
And I do like that quality about him because, she asked him a question and he gave her answers in the bed. Like, she was a 9 out of 10 and stuff like that. And that's how he truly felt at the time.
Right. And I'm the same way. So I understand Cole because I'm very blunt. If you don't ask me anything you don't want the real answer to, because I'm not going to necessarily sugarcoat it. Like, I'm going to give it to you straight. And so I feel like that was kind of what he was doing. And she just wasn't ready for that because she's insecure. And it's so much more I could say about Zay.
Well, we're going to circle back to them because of the recap, for sure.
Yeah. Zay, Okay, so the next couple, SK and Raven.
All right, so I think I'll start off on this one.
Okay,
so, and I'm going to tell you what I got from it. Whenever I watch those two in the pod, first of all, I didn't see any substance with Raven. I still didn't see any substance with Raven I wasn't my favorite person. I think it was Bartise that was actually pouring his heart out in the pod, and she was doing jumping jacks. And I'm like, bro, that's just ignorant to me. Like, you can't take out a second, to listen to this guy. And the thing was, even when she got with SK, she never made eye contact. When they met up, together and everything like that, she goes, oh, I love you. But she's doing this number here. you know, and the whole season to me, I honestly feel like she only said yes to be on the show. I swear I do, to get publicity, because I just didn't see it. It wasn't in her face. She wasn't giving him the attention that I felt like he deserved. He was being such a gentleman. I mean, like, I like SK. I really do, because he's such a gentleman. You can tell he also is another man that's going to provide for his family. You can tell, you know, from his ethnic background and stuff like that as well. But with her, I just didn't see anything. I didn't see any substance. I didn't see any laughter. I didn't see any kind of personality. I didn't see really anything out of her, you know, and I don't know if that's just who she is as a person, or, you know, how to actually read those two. However, I'm really, really glad he said no. I really am, because he was smart enough to realize that he wanted to pursue his career, and that would have caused a lot of stress in the relationship. It was already causing stress before they even got to the altar. So the fact that he actually said no, to me, I had mad respect for him on that.
I did not like the fact that SK went on the show knowing that he was about to go to college in 2 months.
That's true too.
Like right after they got married. I thought that was very inconsiderate of him to put someone in that situation, in general, because if you're about to go to college, and then he even brought up, like, I have to essentially live like a college student and like drastically cut costs, you're not ready for a marriage. Right. Like, you're still in preparation. And I felt that was unfair. I feel like if he maybe would have went to college in like Texas or something, where they still were kind of still in the same state, but I just feel like that was inconsiderate and made me lose a little bit of respect for SK, because he shouldn't have really been there. But I couldn't really blame him, but to a certain extent, because he also made it known to Raven in the pods,
yeah, he did,
that he was about to be going to college in 2 months in California. So this was something that she very well knew prior to him proposing to her. So it kind of voiced out that situation. But as far as Raven, I felt like at the beginning that she chose him because Bartise turned her down. And I felt like she chose him as like, oh, well, I don't got nobody else, so let me go with him. I changed my view, though, after the reunion. So the fact that they're still dating let me know that maybe she really did have something there for him, versus how I felt throughout the season. Because I thought throughout the whole series that she was just with him because of the show. And then I also thought that she was just with him just because he was second. And then with her saying I do, that really kind of started changing my perspective, because she was hard to read too. Like, she didn't really didn't really give a lot, you know?
Right. She didn't really give a lot. And, you know, I was really concerned whenever they were getting ready to get married, because, like I said, his background, you could tell his mother loves, like, that's a mama right there. Like, I really liked his family and brother, and you could tell that they like genuinely love him. But even the way they dress and stuff like that is completely different from what it looks like, you know, Raven was used to. But I give her props, though, for at least trying. I give her props, and I'm gonna circle back to the Raven thing whenever we do our recap as well too, because I got you know, a lot more respect for Raven on the recap. Who's the next one?
The next couple is Bartise and Nancy.
Oh, Lord. Out of all the couples, this is the one that I got, you know, I guess the most to say. Bartise, for one, I'm going to give him props on a couple things, because he was straight up about some things. You knew what you were getting, you know, as far as some of the stuff he said was ignorant. Some of the stuff that he did was very ignorant. I do have respect for the fact that whenever he did say no at the altar, that he did quietly ask Nancy, do you want to do this somewhere else?
Yeah, because they ain't do that.
Right. Right. But however, having said that, like, for real, Nancy called it in the beginning. He's a kid, man. He's not ready for Nancy. Nancy, I loved the most out of everybody. Bubbly, happy.
Yeah.
You can tell that is a woman.
Yeah.
And one of the things I absolutely admired about her was the fact that she would, if you ever watch it, she would wait. She listens. Like she would wait to speak. Like she would let you say every single thing you got to say. And she would calculate it. And I admire that about her. Her family, the brother immediately
saw right through
Bartise.
From the jump.
You could see it on the porch.
You could.
Yeah. And I feel like her mom did too. Honestly, true. I really feel like her mom did too. But, you know, and it's like you said, you know, one of the things Lashawnda said was when somebody talks really fast,
I don't trust him.
Right. And you could tell whenever he was trying to talk that he couldn't get the words out.
It got faster and faster and faster when he was talking to the brothers. And honestly, before that, I was okay with Bartise. Like at the beginning, I was like, okay. Yeah. But the moment he sat down with the brothers, well, I don't remember if that happened. That had to happen after Resort. So, okay. Yeah. So he gave me a strike when he started talking about Raven first. But I was like, okay, you know, for me, I personally don't care about people sharing their attraction to someone. I mean, because there's going to be cute women, there's going to be gorgeous women. Like me and Michael have the type of relationship where we can tell each other, like, oh yeah, that's a beautiful girl. Oh yeah, he's nice. You know, he looks attractive.
At the end of the day, there's always going to be a better looking guy than me.
Right, like we don't really get into that. So it was kind of like, because he just kept going about Raven. But then when he got out there with the brothers, I knew based off his answer when the brother asked him, what made you choose my sister? And he said something stupid like, oh, because when I'm talking to her, I'm happy. And as long as I'm happy, you know, every time I wake up, then I'm going to always be with her. And I'm like, flag on the play, because you're not going to always be happy.
Right.
Like...
Right, and that was one of the biggest things too. Now, I will say he did warn Nancy, though, in the bed. He said, you don't know how I handle conflicts. You don't know how I handle things. And she said, I still choose you.
Yep.
And, you know, so, you know, I mean, of course there's that. But as far as, like, their relationship and everything like that, he's very young. I mean, and, you know, he goes for the superficial. And that will get old after a while. But it's going to take him some time to actually figure that out. Because I'm sure we've all been through that. I was like that when in my early 20s, very immature as well. So
I didn't like him, and I'm glad that he said no, because I knew that she wasn't gonna say no, and she deserved way more.
And she was about to go down a whole lot of heartache if he'd have said yes.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that he said no.
I'm glad he did. And I feel like he knew he needed to say no, especially considering that she said I do first. It wasn't a good match. And I feel like if they had went ahead and went forward with it, it would have been...
He's no good for her.
It would have been bad. And even considering at the reunion how they mentioned how he was with a girl like 3 days later, that matched exactly what he was talking about.
And that's kid moves. That's not moves.
I'm glad that she saw that, because she had already kind of mentally cut him off once he made that decision, because I guess he thought they were going to still be dating after that. And she was like, absolutely not. You say no at the altar, we're done, you know? And I'm glad she did that, but I think sometimes we as women, especially when you know how much you offer to the table, sometimes you know that you'll still give someone a chance that doesn't deserve it. And sometimes it takes for them to do that thing for you to be like, even if I wanted to, I can't go back to that, because the fact they did that. And I feel like hopefully that thing with him being with that woman did that for her.
Right. And, you know, another thing, too, that you got to take consideration, too, is be very mindful and careful, because it's very easy to get into wanting to see the good in somebody. And so you'll put up with more, and you'll give somebody a chance because you see the potential of what they could be. Now, however, having said that, we got lucky, you know, in our relationship, because I was sincere, I was genuine, and vice versa. So we saw the potential in each other, and it worked out for the best. And it doesn't always work out like that for everybody, you know. So you got to be very mindful of that. And I think that's what happened with Nancy. I think she saw the potential of what he could be, but he's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not where she's at right now.
And she wanted 10 kids. He was not.
And then talking about her looks, bro, that girl is gorgeous.
Yeah, I thought you were about to talk about the abortion thing. We are
Oh,
not.
no, I'm not even.
We are not gonna talk about that situation.
No, but it looks though, like seriously, she
was a knockout.
Absolutely. And then when she showed up at the wedding, I was like, woo.
Yeah, she was a knockout.
Beautiful bride.
Same thing with Zay. Like Zay was a knockout, but if you don't see it in yourself, like it's not gonna matter because you're not gonna tell me. And we gotta get ready to wrap this up because we got a call. We gotta do this call after this.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna sit here and tell me it's so much. Okay, I gotta get this out because we're not gonna be able to do it again. You're not gonna tell me that this guy knocked your confidence within 30 days of you being with this person, right? To the point where you weren't eating at all because of what he was saying to you. I just don't believe that. But I feel that, you know, I'm not saying that guys can't get you to a place where you have such a low self-esteem that you make changes. I just feel that she fabricated a lot of stuff that she said about Cole, and I don't like the fact that she drugged Cole the way that she drugged Cole, because I don't feel like he deserved that. And I can, for the most part, tell based on his response at the reunion. She made me so mad at the reunion. You can tell that she was on some other stuff because most of her Instagram posts are, you can't comment on her stuff. But anyways, you just don't do people like that. Like, even at the altar.
She had everybody hating them too.
Right. And that even pissed me off because I'm like, okay, so everything he did was off camera. Everything that he said to you wasn't added in there. I just feel like she did Cole really dirty. She could have pulled him to the side and explained why she said I don't, instead of airing out all of this stuff at the altar. I feel like she did that to kind of make a false statement that he was like just not this person that she wanted to have portrayed, and she wanted to play the victim.
To say no, not look like the bad guy.
Right.
And the thing is like, as far as like Zay and Cole, you know, I'm not saying that Cole's perfect. He may have said things that may have hurt feelings, but that dude was crushed. Did y'all see him at the reunion? Like, that boy was crying hard.
He was crushed, and he didn't even know what happened. Like, he didn't know to what capacity would make her do him the way that she did him.
Right.
Oh. You can't do that while I'm talking.
It's about to go off.
Okay, guys. We gotta go.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to try to do part 2 because I mean we didn't get to wrap up on reunion or anything.
Yeah, well, we can just add to this video.
Okay, so we're back. We had to hop on the call, but we want to go ahead and do the recap of the reunion. So I'm gonna let you start. Yeah,
so you know, man, I had no idea that Raven actually started talking back to SK, which I honestly thought that was really cool. That kind of showed me that it wasn't the fact that she was just about being on the show, because she actually was doing that, you know, and nobody knew. So that's really cool that they're actually working on each other. I really hope the best for them. Outside of that, man, like, Zay really dogged out Cole in there, and then they all attacked Cole, and
I did not like that.
Nah, not at all.
I did not like that.
And if you see the look on Cole's face when she started bringing up some things that he was like, no, this didn't happen. What are you talking about? It just kind of like made me think to myself, like, you may have dodged a really good bullet.
Oh, he definitely dodged a bullet. It really made me cringe seeing that every time Cole tried to say anything, that people kept attacking him. Even the men. I was actually kind of shocked that Brennon even had some animosity towards Cole. Right. And I wish, because we don't know, right? Right. And they kept bringing up things that happened behind the scenes, but they never brought up what the behind the scenes things were. Right. And I didn't like that, because I'm like, okay, y'all are showing a lot of animosity towards someone that said someone was attractive and quote unquote, what was the other thing she said he did that belittled her, made her feel insecure?
Talk about her gaining weight or something like that. Like she didn't need to eat, or I don't know.
Y'all are doing a lot for what we saw on TV, and I feel that I just feel like he didn't deserve that. And what we don't know. So I'm going off of what I saw on the series, and I just I don't believe really anything Zay had. I don't believe anything she said in reference to Cole.
My thing is, Cole made a really good point too, though. He's like, bro, if you were so miserable, why did you make it that far with me? And I agree with him. Like, if I was miserable with my spouse, we'd have never went that far. So that doesn't make any sense to me. And then on top of that, God forbid his parents did show up to the wedding.
Man.
You know, they called that one.
That really irked me as well. Yeah. And I'm glad. I mean, I'm sure he got tons of backlash from his family regardless, especially considering how Zay did him. And that's probably going to traumatize him a little bit because, for one, it's one thing when you step out on a limb and go against what your parents believe or what they suggest, right? You hope for the best. And even if it would have been a simple "I don't," it wasn't that simple for their relationship. Not only did she say "I don't," but she drug him. And on top of that, in my opinion, I feel like she's tried to spread lies to make her look like the victim in the reunion. And she didn't have anything that was provable. Everything was he say, she say, right, according to her, and none of it got aired, which I find that is BS because, like you said, if he was so bad, why did you still not know what your answer was going to be the day of the wedding? Because if someone was making you feel that bad as a person within 30 days, within 30 days, you're going to know your answer before you get to the altar. Right.
I would have known within the first week or two, like, bam, I'm not doing this.
Right. So I really didn't like that. I didn't like how she portrayed Cole. I didn't like how everybody else portrayed Cole. I feel like if it was an elephant in the room that the viewers are not aware of, we should have became aware of it to see why they were treating him the way they were treating him. Because the only thing that I heard that was not caught on camera was the fact that Zay said that Cole got someone's number after the bachelor party and told her about it, which I think that is the most BS in my opinion, because for one, she showed insecurities from the jump, and he was constantly backpedaling to reassure her off of the one comment that he made to her in reference to Colleen. So why, if he was trying to backpedal and keep reassuring you throughout the duration of the series, will he all of a sudden feel so comfortable to tell you that he got someone's number at a bachelor party before your wedding? Like, that does not make any logical sense. And of course, no one else was there to what do you call it? To give him an alibi, because everybody got in an Uber. So it was a perfect territory for her to try to make up something, in my opinion, that no one else could back up if she was right or wrong. So
yeah, and it just, I guess for me, man, you know, I could tell that boy was crushed.
He was crushed.
He was balling, man. I felt really bad for him, you know, for balling. And then she's like, I forgave you a long time ago. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Because if you forgave him, you wouldn't have been sitting there dogging him out. But I don't think that there was anything for you to forgive. But then again, I wasn't behind the camera either.
Right, so we wasn't behind the camera.
I don't know. I'm going based off of what we watched.
I feel that she really damaged his character. And I feel that in reference to the Cole and Zay situation, with him going against what his parents wanted, that's an even bigger sting.
Right.
Because not only does he now have to deal with which based on what I saw on his Instagram, he's not dealing with that much backlash. A lot of people kind of feel the same way that we feel in reference to the situation. But some people are on Zay's side, and I feel that the damage of the reputation, right? Because people are going to watch Love is Blind years from now, like, and they're going to have an opinion after they finish it. Especially if she's lying, because we can't prove that she's lying. We don't know. We weren't there. Yeah. But if she is indeed lying and she was doing that to make him look even worse, karma. That's all I can say. Karma.
Exists, I'll tell you that.
Because I will say that I've been in a relationship where this person presented themselves like they were just the best thing since sliced bread and everybody believed them. And then that same person also spread so many lies about me and people believed them because he was the best thing since sliced bread. And that is a terrible situation to be in when you don't have anybody to have your back.
Right.
You don't have anybody to be like, no, this is not how this person is.
Yeah, the only person that kind of consolidated him really was, SK. Patting him on the back. And I think even Bartise even kind of spoke up for a second there for him too. So I got respect for Bartise for actually speaking up for him because nobody else was.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. What else about the reunion? We already talked about the Colleen situation and Matt. I think Matt's a great guy. Don't get me wrong. I think that he's a real catch. Colleen needs to work on her down face.
Yeah.
Because you giving off, you need help.
Yeah.
And if you really don't need help, girl, you got to work on that. So, but that's just an opinion.
But they look great together.
They do.
And I really like Matt. I really do. I just feel like he needs to quit running. And I'm pretty sure he probably has by now. Now they've been together for a minute. So, because you can only run so many times, you're going to wind up losing that girl.
Right.
Outside of that, I really feel like Alexa will be the first one to have a baby as far as the whole groups. I do wish all of them the best, though. I mean, in all honesty, it was a really good show.
It was.
We have our opinions on each and every one of them, but other than that, though, I enjoyed it. I really did.
I did, too. It was really good. I haven't seen season 2 because I heard so much, that it wasn't good. And so I really don't have a lot of time to waste on not good seasons. So I watched season 1 and I absolutely love Cameron and Lauren. They are the reason why I decided to watch this one because I fell in love with the series because of their love story. And I love, for this season, I love Nancy. Nancy was that girl for me where I'm like, girl, I'm rooting for you.
I love her family. Yeah. Her brothers, her mom. It's so funny because whenever they questioned Bartise on the porch, I was like, bro, I already, I would have had so much more to say, and anybody would have.
Anybody.
That girl had so much to offer. But then again, she was a woman, and at the time he's young.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
Right. That's all it boils down to.
Is there anything else you want to bring up?
No.
Yeah, I think I've said what I wanted to say in reference to everybody. And these are all just our opinions. You know what I'm saying? We don't know these people in real life. If you were on Love is Blind, if this happens to go viral or something and you see our reaction, look, no bad blood, okay? We weren't there. We're just giving our opinions. Okay, so drop your opinion in the comment section if you watched Love is Blind season 3 and let us know what were your ending thoughts when you finished. Right. We're trying to find another series to look at.
And I was gonna say that. Drop in the comments also something else that you would like for us to watch and do a review on too.
Yeah, we're really going back and forth about turning this channel into a reaction channel because we have a lot to say. Okay, and we can do these videos a lot easier. Yeah. But let us know in the comments, and I think that's it, babe.
That's definitely it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in a future video. Bye.